find it crazy that a lot of you people are moving really freaking funky for me. Really, really funky for me. And, I get it that people are going to do what they want to do. But to you individuals, and you know who you are, right? Tell me why there have been people that have come out of the woodworks, right? Tell me why there's people in my DMs all the time. Sometimes the same people in my DMs reaching out to me, trying to be all friendly and shit. And then they go and sit with a whole different group, and then they all try to be acting different. All right, I'm back. Hey, yeah, I'm sorry. I had to make a phone call. So, anyway, so just because I go live and I talk about things, I have a certain tone to my voice, or if I'm addressing something, um, crashing out is y'all use that word way too loosely. Okay? And Monster, I was not crashing out, or no, you did not make me crash out. What I did do is respond to some of the shit that you were saying. But what's also crazy to me, Monster, is this. The same very people that you were screaming at and yelling at and all the things, okay? I never shared your adult grown daughter's photo. I never posted that said photo. I never screenshot it, had that picture in my phone, never. And you're over there laughing it up in the chats. You're over there in the boxes with the very people that actually have posted and have spoken on that a picture. And you don't think that you don't look goofy? The same very people that have done just as have done worse to you and have talked mad shit on you, you're over there in the chat and in the live, and these are people that are actually the ones that, shared it and showed it. So, see, here's the thing, OG Mama Wolf. This is what I'm trying to get to. It's not about It's not even about what has happened or what people do anymore. It's the actual high Skittles. It's the actual selectiveness that you guys do. You monster, you've brought up Lady Day. You brought up my name, and then you're acting as if me and Lady Day had anything to do with that picture. And yet you're laughing and kikiing it up with the very person that did that to you, and you've been crying over it on the internet. And it is OG Mama Wolf. It's very selective for people for their certain reasons. You're sitting with people, monster, that have done way worse to you. You were literally kikiing it up in the chat with someone who has literally spoken on your 5150 and other shit in your life. I've not done remotely anything like that to you, and you're on the internet acting as if like I'm the worst one. Get the fuck out of here. No. It's crazy how some of y'all were moving and all the things that you were doing. And you want to talk about monster. Do you remember when Florida Man seen that, made that list on Discord? Do you remember he had all those lists and names of people and you were on it? And do you remember how people, and there were certain individuals that were getting worried and getting scared because in there it basically said he didn't care if it was, married women, children, families, whatever? And you know what's even more crazy is that you ran over to Florida Man begging and pleading and crying with him so he wouldn't go after you or whatever, so you could be taken off the list. You literally gave in to a man that made a list to attack women and children, and you went over there and apologized and all these other things, and then you continued to sit with that said man, and you still actively support him, which is whatever. And I've said it, and I said it last night, and I'll say it again. Everything, you are the perpetual victim. And what's even more crazy is people have actually, people that I wouldn't think would reach out to me are the ones reaching out to me, calling the absolute hypocrisy of all this shit. It's not about anything that I've even done at this point. It's the fact that y'all just have this selectiveness and y'all like to pick at people. But I'm not the one that's sitting over here looking goofy. You're sitting with the same very people that ran your name through the mud. And you've also have said and done some things to the very people that you're sitting with. And all because I was in Sweet Cheeks box and had a trigger warning up. I was over there just trying to support who I thought was a friend. And I was allowed to be attacked in her live. And I would have never done that to her on my platform. But see, what I'm not, what you got to understand is I have a backbone. Okay, I'm not going to be just sitting there just taking it like some other people do. Okay, I have my thoughts and my opinions on a lot of shit too, and I don't care what some of y'all think about me. But just like you, crazy cookies, You're always popping off at the mouth, you know. But does everybody know how many times you have been in my DMs begging me to be your friend? And how lonely you were like a couple of weeks ago and you had nobody to talk to and that you really missed me and that you're sorry? Do you know how many times you've been in my DM, Crazy Cookies, and then you're over there in certain chats trying to act all funky and shit? That's why I blocked your ass this last time? Because I saw exactly what you were doing? You would say one thing, and then when questioned by other people, you would say the opposite. Because you are spineless and you have no backbone, and you have to actually try to buy your friends with jewelry. But yeah, Crazy Cookies, if you're going to act funky, could you just make sure you pick what side you want to be funky on? Because I could really, really, really embarrass you and show everybody all the messages that you have sent me and some of the things that you have said. And this is you wanting to come back to be my friend and wanting me to call you and talk to you because you're so lonely and you have nobody in your life. Where are all your friends? Where are all your other little TikTok friends? Why aren't they calling you? Why aren't they talking to you? Where are they at? Where are all those friends? So I said what I said about Monster. Um, you just look goofy, man. You want to pinpoint the blame at somebody so you can whatever, but you're mad at the person. You're mad at the wrong person. It's crazy. It's always for the kids, about the kids, but some of y'all have sat with individuals that didn't give a shit about kids. Just because me saying Monster, she currently supports Florida Man and still brags about talking to him in the jail and all these other things, but you want to call other people P3DO sympathizers, but you were literally sitting and supporting Florida Man as he threatened another woman on the internet to actually send P3DOs in her local area to her home. And you literally accuse that said person of drinking too much and driving her children to school drunk and under the influence. And now you're over there in that chat, in that comment section, and y'all are just like high-fiving and laughing and just didn't acting like none of that shit happened. All these other people get free passes and shit. So you don't get to use that excuse of the CIA chat no more. No. And you're not the only person that's had shit happen. I just found out that OG literally gave out my fucking address to multiple people. I mean, this is the person that my information got said to. Do you know that I don't even know this person? That like this feral person, I don't know, but yet Mike and I's info was sent to some random person, and come to find out that y'all were on a mission to try to get me fired from my job. y'all But yet, there's minor children that live with us. We've got photos of our kids being sent out addresses, jobs, all that shit being passed around on the internet freely. And we're not talking about my old stuff. We're talking about current. Current. No, not our current, but our old current. Hi babe, I saw you come in. Um what were you gonna do with that, OG? Like I said, I got a message that you were sending this out to people because y'all were attempting to locate my place of employment, and y'all were all trying to make some really fake foul shit up to try to get me fired. Um OG Crystal. OG was giving random people on the internet Mike and I's information, everything about us. Yep. But hey, we're talking about somebody who's never on the app. Hi, positive. Hi, Ruby. But we're talking about somebody who's never on the app. You know, they're never on TikTok. You've cried, OG, because people have shared things about your personal life. Didn't you at one point in time somebody show your house, or they thought they were showing your house, and you have cried because all this shit has happened to you, but in the background you're doxing people, you're sending out people's addresses, phone numbers, their job histories, all that shit. I mean, this just shows that y'all are just, you're a bunch of fake ass bitches, man, that do so much shady fucking shit behind the scenes, and then when you get called out for it, you deflect it like a motherfucker. Oh, you're not, you haven't missed anything, Paroli. The same people that have been boohooing and crying because y'all, you think all these people are doing this shit to you, but in the background, you're actually doing the most to other people. And your monster, you're crying because your adult grown daughter's picture was shown and shared, but I didn't do that. You you know what? I've just, people are fucking weird on here, man. Y'all are selective at what y'all want to address and who y'all want to attack and who y'all want to fucking go after. But some of you motherfuckers that are sitting here playing in people's faces, stay the fuck out of my DMs, man. Some of y'all are so spineless and don't have a backbone because y'all are so worried about what other people are going to say or think about you because you're a free thinker and you make up your own mind. But Monster, you literally sat with a man that has attacked people with disabilities and missing limbs and deceased loved ones, and who has, done a lot of foul things. And I'm not saying that, other people haven't, but you supported a man that was doing the absolute most to women, to hurt women. And you're going to sit here on the internet and cry, and you want to point the finger at me and put the blame on me when I didn't do it? And Monster, how many times have you crashed out? How many times have you cried? You know, when you had your over 5 hour apology tour and you were crashing out on the internet because Sassy Virgo and her friends were literally terrorizing you on the internet, and it broke you down so bad that you went live with your journal and had a 5 hour apology tour. And talking about how you were going to do this and do that and be a better person. You literally have, told other people and their spouses that they should die. I mean, do you remember what you said about Megan's husband that one time? And you wished death on that man? It's like y'all, I guess y'all forget history class. I guess y'all forget some of the shit that y'all have done and y'all participated in. But if I really wanted to be funky, like I said, crazy cookie, I could save all my messages and, I could have them already potentially saved. And I could show everybody, all the messages that you send me. But I want to know, since you want to act like I'm such a shitty friend when you're sitting with certain people, but what they don't know is that you're actually reaching out to me and telling me you're lonely and you don't have anybody. So where are your other friends at for you then? Because if I'm so terrible, I'm so bad, crazy cookies, why are you constantly in my DMs begging me to be your friend? And you want to stay in my places and spaces and hang out with me? And if I don't know your account, I'm not going to just let you randomly in a box. If your main account is blocked and you come here on your sneaky, don't expect to get a box. Yeah, and exactly, Ash. I'm not going to beg no hoe to be my friend. And yesterday was a prime example of watching somebody literally just disregard my feelings and completely allowed me to be trashed and bashed on their platform, all because they didn't have a backbone enough to say, we're not going to do that here. Right. Right. And there's been some of y'all where I have blocked your main account and you're reaching out to me on your sneaky accounts, telling me who you are, and you just want to come in here and listen. Why? When you're in other chats running your mouth about me. OG says, I came to TikTok for Tatum and chicken nuggets and can't get out. I've watched some of these people literally just flip flop and back and forth and argue and fight and be totally against each other and then go back to each other. Um, I can't say that enough. Like, if you want to be my friend on the back end, you better want to be my friend in the front end. Thank you. Honestly. And the thing is, this crazy cookie, I have blocked you. And the last time I blocked you is because you went over in another chat and lied and told people that I forced you to say something that you didn't want to say. And that was a lie. A ball-faced lie. You know what? It's also really crazy is that how easy it is for some of y'all to spread misinformation, all because you're too afraid to say, I like Shannon. I have no problem with her. And y'all are so worried of the backlash because you want to say that you go sit over in the chats and you kiki it up with people pretending like you don't like me. Please stay your fake ass away from me. You know? Oh, thank you, Karen. I like you too. um, yeah. I just I've had a few crash outs, and usually it's me just not, and I don't even feel like any of my crash outs have been just like over the top, or, maybe it's because I'm passionate about the topic. But I mean, Monster, you have screamed, you have cried, you have made outlandish videos. Anybody makes you mad, you end up putting them in a jar and saying you're going to cast a spell and all kinds of shit. And at least I make my crash outs funny. You know. I mean, I've owned all my shit, I've owned all my shit. I've tried to move on, but some of y'all y'all got to shift the blame somewhere. So y'all going to just try to shift it on me and then still sit with the people that actually did the very most to you. I do. One thing about me is I do tell on myself. I don't have, some of y'all, it's so easy for y'all to just like misview fucking information and twist and turn shit. And for the most part, I just get to the point where I just don't give a fuck, so I don't show my end of the thing. Andy, you're my mom. But nobody's making me like crash out. Monster, you're not making me crash out, because I promise you within the next week, you're probably going to have another, spout with someone else, and you're going to go live and, just, pop off and make your videos like you're so hard and you're so cool, like you're going to actually do something to somebody. Okay? Anybody can put the name Monster across their belly and try to act tough. Anybody can pull that character out of their ass. God, at least one thing I can say is I don't feel like I gotta ever run with the masses to fit the fuck in. I'm not gonna sit here and change my core values or my moral compass to try to sit with other people because I'm so desperate to fit in. But yet I've had my address doxxed on a live. I've had it shared out to multiple people. Okay? Literally trying to go real life to hunt our jobs down to get us fired. That's what y'all are doing. That's what OG is doing. I'm so I'm so grateful and thankful for the friends that I do have. Like the true genuine ones, man. I've never the links that some of y'all go to actually try to destroy people's real lives is fucking insane to me. I have had people call the sheriff's department trying to get me arrested. I've had people contact my employment. I've had people back in South Dakota trying to falsely report my nursing license and trying to get me fired and trying to get me to lose my license when I was in South Dakota. What were y'all gonna do? Call the, try to find my employment and say, hey, there's this ginger lady that I don't like what she says on TikTok, and I'm mad, so I'm going to try to get her fired from her job. But hey, I'm the one out here, trying to get people's stuff taken down and pictures and videos taken down, and doing even people that I really don't care for. I'm trying to help out and do all that stuff. But my shit is just being tossed around, and yet I had a lady in the comment section literally said after I was doxxed, I'm not very far from her at all. A random person on the internet. But yet, I guess minors in our home don't matter, right? And you guys do know that if you're passing out people's personal information for malicious intent, and something potentially happens to that person because you gave such information out for that person to be found or hurt, do you know how much trouble that you can get in? If it's found that you shared someone's address for malicious intent for them to be potentially harmed, and if that ever does happen, you know that you can get in some deep shit for that. And the fact that somebody in a chat literally recognized where y'all said I lived and said they lived very close to me. All I'm going to say is if anybody's feeling that froggy or anybody wants to attempt to do that, just remember that song, click, click, boom. There, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. You can book an appointment. You can prepay. Okay? All y'all do is share out people's personal information for intimidation tactic. Because y'all want to feel like y'all are superior. Y'all can hold something over somebody's head. But you do know that when you share people's information and location and jobs and shit like that, if somebody really decides to take that said information and go harm somebody, you can be in some deep fucking shit, man. And if you don't think that people aren't fucking watching and seeing this shit, and you're out here crying because your grown adult kid's picture was shared and shown, even not even by me. You allowed a man in your box who made fun of a disabled child, and you turned your head and you smiled, and you didn't address it or nothing. You allowed it to happen. Even though this kid, this child is older, y'all took a baby's picture of the baby clearly in a, going through something, and mocked the shit out of a child with disabilities. But you're only your kids matter, right? Crazy. I mean, I've had my deceased loved ones. We've had our deceased loved ones. And you literally have wished, unaliving on people, monster. You've wished harm on people, physical harm on people. You have sat with a man and you still support a man who doxed every part of my life. And a majority of you women sat over there and you laughed when my address and my phone number and all my past job history and all that shit was blasted on the internet. But what I didn't do is I didn't go beg and plead to Florida man to, not go after me or not drag me. And you went over there and you caved and then you started participating with that man. No, I'm actually drinking a diet Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. And you know what? Nothing's happened. Okay. I I'm no longer located or at where y'all all have doxed me at. So there's that. So if you want to take the old info that you have and you want to try to do something with it, that's fine. That's dandy. But I will tell you that as far as no one will ever know where we are. Ever. But like I said, OG, you're a piece of shit. I was even there for you when a lot of bad things were happening, and I tried to be a friend to you, but you're not a friend. Okay, you're a snake in the fucking grass. The same very people that you sit with whine and cry because they're so afraid about being doxxed and their information being released, and yet in the background, you're the type of person that's actually doing that to people. Okay? That's right, Ash. Shannon lives in Shannon land. You know? But I'm not going to sit here and be on this hate train and be mad at people because what? I have to own my shit, right? I know that I've done things that I'm not proud of and I've said things that I'm not proud of, but I'm not going to crucify somebody. I'm not going to crucify somebody who is human. And actually that person has actually reached out and that person has apologized to me and vice versa. You know. But some of y'all lack the maturity level of actually being able to have constructive adult conversations because y'all want to still bicker and fight and argue, and because y'all want to keep shit going or have at least something to bitch about. And when you are someone's friend, even if you don't sit with that person anymore or you decide to part ways, like, um, you don't release information just because you're no longer friends. You know, you're allowed to walk away peacefully and still withhold some things that y'all shared with each other. But not some of you bitches, nah. As soon as something happens or there's a falling out, man, y'all are out here just telling on it. And you're right. You're right, monster. I did. I did tell Florida Man some things, but what a lot of y'all don't know is that as y'all were threatened, right? And as y'all had things being held out over your head, I did tell it. And I was going to be the one to say it because I wasn't going to allow anybody else to take the opportunity to spin it or twist it. No, it doesn't, Claus. Loyalty, it doesn't exist on this app. And if you do have those, friendships and those ones that you've built a bond with and you've built that trust with, that takes time, you know. And I'm happy to say that I have those type of friends that, we can all agree to disagree on certain things, but we still know how to be respectful and kind on each other. And we don't have to sit here and worry about if somebody's going to release shit that we've shared with each other. You know, that's why there's so many people that have tried to come back or come back around and all these other things, but it's like, why? When some of y'all have done the absolute most to me and have burned me, not even once, but twice. And I was over there with Sweet Cheeks just because I was trying to support her cause and everything else with, bringing attention to some P3DOs and trying to get them off of this app. And all because, Monster needed attention. I'm tired of this fake friend shit, man. And I'm just going to block. And don't message me or don't expect me in the next few months to unblock you. Like, this person has done this to me multiple times, has literally turned their back on me for no reason, all because they want to sit with a certain person because they want to feel like they can fit in. But I don't know, Monster, I don't appreciate you lying, though, and telling people that I have pictures of children in my phone. And that was very disgusting of you to even accuse me of that. So I just, if you feel a certain type of way and you want to, if that's how you truly feel, man, just keep doing it. But stay out of my DMs, stop messaging me, stop trauma dumping to me, stop asking me to use my platform to come out with some shit and no, I'm not doing it, man. Not doing it. And if I have beef with somebody, right? So let's say that me and Paroli, right? Let's say me and Paroli were fighting. We were going at it. I love it how a lot of y'all really like to interject your shit in business that you're not in. Just because two people are beefing with each other doesn't mean that everybody else has to fucking, put their 2 cents in. Acting as if you were there, if you experienced that situation that happened or everything that went down. Some of y'all just like to be like, oh yeah, that's terrible. Y'all believe everything that y'all fucking hear on this app, and it's actually fucking embarrassing. But like I said, if we want to do a history class, I've got many, many clips, and we could go down memory lane. Okay. And if you don't like somebody, we don't have to act like little 5-year-olds and say, Queen Paroli is in the chat and I don't like her. She has cooties. And like I said, Ash, that's what I'm gonna do. That's all you can do, right? Is let people just run with the lies, But I'm just gonna say that, like, it's always the ones that are on disability and that don't even work and have no ambition or goals. It seems like it's always those type of individuals that are doing like the absolute fucking most in the background. Like people that are like bored housewives or don't have a job or don't have anything constructive going on. Those always seem to be the most destructive people on this app. Are the ones that literally have way too much time on their fucking hands. Yet I work my ass off and everything else and all the taxes and shit that I pay literally contribute to all the free shit that the government fucking gives you. You know. You get what I'm saying, Claus. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people are blessed enough to be able to stay at home and to raise their kids, right? There are some women out there that have a spouse, right? But a lot of y'all are sitting around here with grown ass adult children, right? And you're so bored and you have nothing to do that you just keep wanting to do crazy shit. You know? And there are people out there that have actually true disabilities. There's people out there actually working full-time jobs and having to work their tail off, and they should be able, those are the type of individuals that have a lot of shit going on that should be on disability. But you can't be out here trying to destroy other people's livelihoods because you're a miserable person. You know? I think some of y'all have just like really lost like you've lost grip of actual reality on this app. And people don't realize too, a lot of times, you're right, Claus, a lot of times the stay-at-home moms, when they're at home and they've got a bunch of kids and they got a lot of things to do, I mean, that in itself feels like a full-time job. And it is. But it's you individuals that have grown-ass kids that sit on your ass at home doing nothing with your life. That's my problem. And then out here trying to actively destroy people's livelihoods because you're what? Vindictive and evil in the background? But you can run businesses. You can't work. You can't work a real actual job, but you can do hair that you're not licensed to do and do all these little side hustles and shit. Do you claim those on your taxes? At least I make an honest living. You know, I definitely, OG, don't have to sell a lot of, quotation cat eyes, because we all know what the cat eyes are, OG. Okay. So just because, like I said, being a stay-at-home mom and doing that, and if your spouse can take care of you and you're doing that, that's awesome. But if you're one, like I said, you're one of these grown-ass adults that has grown-ass kids, and you're doing nothing with your life, that's a you problem. Hold on, Pearlie.
Hello.
Hey, girl, what you doing?
Oh, look, up for a little bit. Then I gotta go back down because I gotta go to work tonight. But so just a prime example for people to see, because I mean I stepped away from people for my own reasons, but after after what happened to you yesterday, remember Bob went live?
Yeah.
She was in there, and Bob was trying to hold a whole live of something that was, I guess, at that point in time, very important. And in the comments, well, I want to know why Kirsten is saying things about me, and I want to know why Kirsten's posting things about me. Again, a lot of people are being affected, and it doesn't matter who's live or whose chat you go into, you make it about you, and not everything is about you.
I agree.
There was
I
two
agree.
people yesterday in that live that were speaking, especially on a family member of theirs and a baby. And you chose to choose drama and get up a box and start screaming and hollering. Those two people who you claim to be your friends, you disrespected and was disgusting as fuck. That live was supposed to be about babies. You derailed and stole away from babies. I don't want to get myself worked up and upset about this whole situation again. You're a sick, twisted individual. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you, Pearlie. And yet I went over there to try to be supportive for my friend and then turned around and got shit on. And decisions were made in that very moment. You know how many times I've been done dirty by so many individuals time and time again, and they come back and they say they want to be my friend and they do all these things, and I think that we have so much shit behind us, but yet they allow other people to create wedges between friendships. Just because you don't like me doesn't mean that other people shouldn't like me. And it just proves that maybe that person was never my friend in the first place. And I just don't. There's just no more room for fake people, man. I can't do it. Some people just don't know how to let shit go and to move on for the better. Y'all just you don't think for yourself. You're not a free thinker. You allow other people to persuade you to think the way that they think. And it just shows how easily and how fast people will turn on you and shit on you to try to appease other people. But don't come in my DMs. Don't try to act like you want to be my friend. I've got plenty. Okay, I'm not taking any new applications or anything else like that. Okay, I'm keeping this circle small for a reason, and I'm definitely not going to crucify people on this app and try to act like I'm any better than anyone on this app. Because why I sit here and I've owned all my shit and I've held all my accountability and all those type of things. What I don't do is deflect on the situation and try to blame others for the shit and stuff that I created and that I was a part in. I don't want to fit in any of your little guys' cliques and shit. Because you guys move funky as fuck for me. You're hot, you're cold, you're hot, you're cold. And I guarantee you, the same people right now that are kikiing it up and that are pretending like they're friends, give it a couple weeks, they'll be fighting again. Or somebody in that group will be fighting again. And she did, Paroli. She did. She had to take, she took the attention off something that people were trying to really get the word out on, and somebody just couldn't help it but make it about themselves. If we all agreed on the same shit, it would be really, really boring. We're all allowed to have some differences as opinion, but I'm not going to go with somebody else's opinion or whatever because I just want them to like me. That's not how I operate. I don't. Okay? I have my thoughts and feelings on a lot of shit, and I'm telling you, taking a step back and watching how some of you guys move, man, just shows that y'all are so fucking weak. You're weak, you're spineless, you stand for nothing. You stand for nothing because you want to fit in so bad with people. And I love it how some of y'all love to use people, and then you want to act like you didn't play a part in the situation, and then you like to throw other people under the bus to try to deflect out of the situation. I just don't give enough shit. There's not a nobody. There's not. There's nobody that important to me on this app that is. I'm just not going to get bent out of shape about it, man. And just because I start calling out some of your shit and you being a hypocrite, that's not a crash out. I can be calm as a cucumber talking about something and y'all say that it's a crash out. You know, and you can't tell me that it's coming out, oh well, you shouldn't be the messenger. I wasn't even trying to be the messenger yesterday. I was just trying to be there to support my friend, who's now no longer my friend, because they chose somebody else's word and shit and ran with it. you know but hey, that's cool though. Don't come back in a couple of months when shit hits the fan or you start feeling guilty, and don't reach out to me. Don't tell me you're sorry. Don't tell me how sorry you are. Don't tell me that you don't understand why you did it. Just accept the fact that we're just never going to be friends again, and I'm okay with it. Okay, you don't get access to me no more. And like I said, one thing about me, once I disengage from you, and once I walk away, and like I can listen, I can literally act as if you don't exist. You know, because once I shut my phone off, I shut my phone off. And I was gonna go live this morning, but after I got off work, I was super tired, and I thought, you know what? No, I was like, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm tired. I worked all night. You know, it's not that important for me to address right away. I'll talk about it when I want to. But don't be surprised. You don't have to go around in chats and be like, oh well, Shannon blocked me. You if you don't care enough, if you don't like me, why do you have to announce it? Why do you care? If I blocked you, I have my own personal reasons. It doesn't mean that we all have to discuss it or whatever, but that's just how it is. I'm just gonna let God handle a lot of these situations. You know, Karma's a bitch. And sometimes you just gotta sit back and you gotta let shit play out. Oh shit, Ash. No, please don't do that. No. Oh shit. Just crazy. Crazy, man. You can't make this shit up. You can't. You can't make this shit up. Like, the shit that some of y'all. I think what really gets me is the fact that a lot of y'all have held lives and have just bashed and trashed the shit out of each other, and I mean done the absolute most to each other, and uh, and then y'all just one day y'all just start kikiing it up, man. I just don't hold grudges. I don't have a black heart, man. I don't. If I'm past something and I've moved on from something, like that's what I do. That's how I handle shit. But some of y'all bitches, y'all gotta fit in so bad, man. Y'all will shit on a friendship that you've had for 5 years over a bitch that you've known for a month. Y'all just disregard friendships because you want to fit in so fucking bad. Trust me, I've had so much shit happen to me on this app. God, some of y'all have like literally have tried to destroy my life. Y'all have tried to have me arrested. Y'all have tried to have me fired. Y'all have y'all have done so much shit, and I've taken it, man. I I've talked about it from time to time, but I've taken it, and I just I just keep living my life. And I'm resilient, man, because I've been able to put up with so much shit and bounce back from so much shit. And I haven't had to use other content creators or anybody else to get me out or to, drag me out of that funk or whatever it is. I'm just never going to sit here and I'm never going to sit here and tell people that they can't be friends. And I'm not going to throw a temper tantrum because you're a friend with somebody. Crazy. Grown adults trying to tell people what to do on an app. Oh, well, yeah. Well, I mean, remember, I think it was sometime last year, Monster was, she was in a live and she had mentioned about making a joke about the Columbine shooting. She wanted to make a school shooting joke. You know, some of y'all like to just y'all like violent shit. Y'all have actually like physically have threatened and y'all have gone real life on people, trying to hurt people's real lives. Y'all try to instill fear into people with doxing people's information and sharing people's shit out. All while crying on the internet because people are doing shit to you and you're turning back around in the background and you're doing all this foul shit to other people. But hey, only your grown adult kids matter, right? The safety of the minors that live here don't matter, I guess. You know, do y'all know what's crazy? Is there's actually some real life shit that people are going through. There was a boating accident the day before 4th of July at Geneva Lake, and there was a boat that capsized. And the children that lost their lives were actually wearing life jackets. And a whole family's real life has been completely turned upside down. And people are going through some real life, genuine shit. And you bitches want to fight over this he said, she said bullshit on the internet. And there's actually P3DOs that are on this app that are a danger to a lot of people and they don't need to be on here. And y'all are sitting here worried about whether or not somebody's a friend to me. I don't know. I live in the real world. And these parasocial relationships are so fucking ridiculous. Like people are losing loved ones every day, you know. I just refuse to sit here and give a fuck about what a bitch has to say about me on the internet. But y'all need to stop trying to hurt people's actual real lives. Because there's a lot of crazy people in this world. And one day, some of y'all are going to fuck with the wrong one. One day, you're going to take it way too far with the wrong one someday. And I'm telling you, it's just a matter of time before somebody actually does something horrible over fucking social media. I've been actually watching what's been happening over in Venezuela and the fact that they just went through, a horrible earthquake and all those individuals and all those people that lost their lives in an earthquake and all the pain and the suffering that those individuals are all going through. And that's happening in the world. And you bitches want to log on the internet because someone was talking shit about you? I don't know. Some of y'all need to like maybe just shut off this fucking app and actually do a little bit of, listening and watching and seeing what's happening in the real world. Right, Paroli? You said, look at the monks. They were just walking and got hit by a truck, and now 10 of those monks are dead because somebody decided to be reckless. Like, let's talk about what's happening in the real world. Those 16 children that were literally held in that home and horrific things done to them and the conditions that they lived in and how affected all 16 of those kids were. And that's the kind of, that's what's happening in the real world. And some of you bitches are so worried about whether or not, somebody's going to accept you in a chat or in a box. I'm so thankful that I have a willing and able body. I'm so thankful that I can get up and contribute to my home and to be able to, pay for my own shit and get my own shit. I don't have to rely on the coattails of strangers on the internet to get me through life. I don't have to sit here and dry beg for money, worrying about how I'm going to pay my bills or pay for Thanksgiving or pay for Christmas. Because I'm the type of bitch, I'm going to make it fucking happen. And I will tell you that is one thing that Mike and I know how to do. We know how to work and we know how to grind and we know how to, be responsible adults that handle our own shit. While some of y'all literally sit on your asses doing nothing throughout the whole fucking day, having the audacity to try to judge people on the fucking internet. I'm going to tell you, with the day that this app burns to the ground, I want to witness it. I would love more than anything for like everyone to totally wake up and realize that this social media bullshit is such a waste of fucking time. And the amount of people that are actually truly successful on this app that actually make a bukus of money, right? There's a lot of people in here that make really good money on TikTok, right? But see, I don't rely on any of my followers to gift me. I don't rely on TikTok money. I don't have to go live every day, all day. I would much rather y'all guys keep your money. I don't need people to, send me gifts, or you don't have to send me anything for me to like you. You don't have to buy a spot in my life. You know what I mean? How much you're willing to gift me or anything else like that. Right? Right, inner peace? Or I come in peace? Like, that's what I really don't get, is some of y'all really truly believe that people are supporting you, but sometimes people are only using you enough, for it to benefit them, and then they shit on you. But just because you have what, 100 people in your room, 200 people in your room, it's not shit. I don't go on this app trying to make everything about me at all. That's like if Paroli is friends with somebody that maybe I'm not really fond of, doesn't mean that I'm going to turn around and shit on Paroli or force Paroli to pick a side. Because I know that Paroli it has her own, she's a free thinker. And Monster is not innocent, just like OG is not innocent. So many of you other people on here that have done some foul fuck shit behind the scenes, doing the most to people. The only reason why you're able to uphold your image is because a lot of you just haven't been caught yet or outed. I've had people play straight into my face, pretending like they give a fuck the whole time. They're just out here in the background, just being so fucking shady and fake as fuck. And so many people who I thought were my genuine friends have put me in, have jeopardized my safety. I'm just saying that if somebody's brave enough to ever try to come hunt me or Mike down or show up, I'm telling you that you never know what that other person is capable of. Just like y'all have a right to be friends with who you want to be friends with, I can be friends with whoever I want to be friends with. And I tell people all the time, you feeling froggy, leap. Because you may think that you're big, bad, and tough, but you just don't know who you're truly fucking with. You really don't. And you don't know what another person can truly be capable of on this app. You know, there's some people on this app that if you cause them to lose their job or you cause them to, you do something really serious that could affect their real life. I mean, how would you feel if like somebody like ended their life because of it? What if that was the last straw for that person? Some of y'all just don't care where y'all push people. Y'all just show a picture of someone's house. Hell, at one point in time, I had the whole interior of my house, the whole layout of my house shown. The whole layout of my house. Down to the square footage, everything. Right? Right, I come in peace. The thing is, y'all can keep doing whatever you think it is that you're doing, right? Y'all really can. Y'all think y'all are out here doing the most to people. But one day y'all are going to fuck with the wrong one. You really are. And that person is not going to be loud about it. They're going to move. They're going to move in silence. And then when it hits you, it's going to hit you hard. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I come in peace, the audacity with that one. But hey, y'all keep sitting with people that shit on you. Y'all keep going and moving in your little goofy ways, man. Y'all do that. Y'all do that. Y'all, a lot of y'all deserve each other at this point. So I'm gonna keep doing me, you know. I want to keep doing my thing. Um, I'm just gonna say this is a process of elimination. Don't come in here. If I block somebody and that's your friend, and your friend happens to get blocked because they're moving in shady ways, don't ask me to unblock them. Don't ask me to be unblocked. Just don't. So, anyway, I'm going to get off of here. I got to work tonight. So, I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to chill for a bit. Wait for Mike to get home from work. So, yeah. I'm just going to keep trucking. That's all you can do. So, I appreciate you ones that have come in here. And, you know, you guys that have been, you know, genuine, good, kind people. People that can get past shit and, you know, mature and realize that it's not that deep, it's not that serious. We just gonna sit back and just keep watching people move funky, you know. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I come in peace. Trust me. I have way more things going on in my life than to stop and hyper focus and worry about bitches that will never matter on the internet. Ever. Not, at least not matter to me. I mean, everybody matters, but not everybody matters to me. So, I'm gonna go get some rest. But anyway, y'all have a great day.